before we get, we're about to get underway with the first event. So we'll go through the entrance in the 5K. Lane 2, Gemma Maney. Lane 3, Cassie Deed. Lane 5, Natalie Rule. Lane 6, Sophie Ryan. Lane 8, Ashley Brown. Lane 9, Alexander Patterson. Lane 10, Bronwyn Humphreys. Station 11, Virginia Maloney. Station 13, Camilla Wilshaw. 14, Olivia Hobbs. 15, Nardine Bainbridge. 16, Amelia Mazzadowney. 17, Charlotte Wilson. 18, Brianna Bunworth. 19, Lindsay Sheriff. And 19, Ellie Pashley.
So we do have a jam-packed field here for the women's 5,000. We do have some quite top senior athletes as well, and we do have Amelia Mazzadowney here as well, one of our up-and-coming juniors who is going for a World Junior qualifier here as well in this 5,000 metres.
And she actually qualified for the 5K last World Juniors, but unfortunately had to pull out late with injury, so hopefully she can have another chance.
As I go through there in 1:15. So it is Ali Pashley out in front there, just ahead of Virginia Maloney in second position. As we come into 500 metres into the race there, so Pashley there in the yellow, Virginia Maloney there in the white, and we do have Charlotte Wilson there on the outside. So a few of these athletes have competed quite recently here, so Virginia Maloney, as she takes that lead off Pashley there. So did run the 10K at Zatopek, Virginia did, in 34:18.84 as well. So she's got a strong 10 kilometre time there. We'll see how she goes in this. So as we come up 800 metres into this 5K race here, we'll grab a time.
73, I think, sorry. Kind of missed that split. But Virginia's pretty good at usually running a pretty solid, even pace coming off that marathon background, so going pretty as expected there. But Charlotte Wilson just sitting on her shoulder. She had a great run in the steeple the other night. I'm pretty sure it was a PB of about 10:03, so pretty close to breaking that 10-minute barrier there, so she knows she'll be strong. No barriers in her way this night.
And there are a number of athletes in this race here that have competed quite a bit over the last month or two with a couple of Victorian Milers Club events on the Victorian 5K champs as well as the Zatopek 10. So as we go through about 3:15 there in 1K.
Yeah.
So it is Charlotte Wilson.
About a 75-second lap there, so staying on a pretty solid pace.
Slightly difficult to see where they are crossing through that 200 metre line from our position here at the finish line, but we will try and get those lap splits to you as best as possible. So we do have Charlotte Wilson here ahead of Gemma Maney, who has had a strong performance at the Victorian Milers Club in a 9:37.13 for the 3K early in November. So she's done the 3K, she's up here today doing the 5K, but it's Charlotte Wilson out there in front, Gemma Maney in second position.
Yeah, both Gemma and Alex have got strong backgrounds and results in cross country recently, being world cross teams and national cross champions, so you expect them to be strong.
So have you done many 5Ks yourself, Lyndon?
I have not. I try to limit it to one a year, so I'm actually going to run one at Hunter in January. So hopefully I can learn a little bit by watching this one.
And are you planning on, I know you probably haven't done a huge amount of planning in terms of race splits and things like that, but do you expect to probably do even splits through most of the laps or most of the Ks there?
That's probably a pretty nice way to run it, I think. Hopefully we can get someone to help us out with that.
So it is Wilson still in front, ahead of Maney. And then we have Alexandra Patterson as well in third position. So we do have a little bit of a breakaway group just ahead of Amelia Mazzadowney there in fourth position, leading the group ahead of Virginia Maloney.
And Charlotte looks pretty happy doing all that work out the front. It's pretty still night down here in Geelong, so perfect conditions really for a 5K.
And we did see them go through the 2 kilometre mark there in about 6:23, so I've got them roughly down as going through a 16:15, which is 78-second laps. So they are a little bit ahead of that 6:30 through the 2K there, so I'm not exactly sure what they are trying to go through. So a strong performance here from Charlotte Wilson. So as we did say, she did do the steeplechase at Milers Club at Lakeside Stadium on Tuesday night. So probably still not the freshest. I'm not sure what she would have done between now and then, but I wouldn't imagine too many sessions in there.
No, hopefully a pretty cruisy couple of days in there.
So as we come up to 2,400 metres, we're almost at the midpoint here. In about 7:40. So they are pushing the pace. They are a little bit ahead of the 7:48 needed to get that 6:15. So we do have Charlotte Wilson in, seated with a time of 16:19. So she is well on pace to be able to break that time here with her performance. So, but she is doing a lot of the work. Not a windy day down here in Geelong, so she isn't battling the elements, and it's quite cool as well. So she's not having to waste energy on overheating or anything.
And Gemma has run under 16 minutes before, PB about 15:56, I think. Saw that run up in Sydney about 2 years ago. So she's done that before, so she'd probably be looking to try and close and break that 16-minute barrier again.
So coming into the front straight, main bunch of girls coming up now, Sophie Rice still leading that group. Wilson is now really pushing the pace along.
So they're still well on pace there with about a 9-minute flat through 2,800 metres. About a 120 lap split there. So
Has backed off just a little bit, but you sort of expect that sometimes. You're a little bit keen that first half of the race, get going and get into it, but this group should settle down together pretty well and hopefully push each other. But Gemma does look like she's getting a little impatient, the way she's come out a little bit and sort of moving on to Charlotte's shoulder a little bit. And Jen Maloney's come past Amelia in that fourth spot now.
We'll have to try and get a clock as well on Amelia Mazzoudani to see how she is going for that 1640 World Junior qualifier as well.
And just as you talk about her, she's come back around Jen Maloney, so someone might have given her a split down that back straight and got her back on track.
So about 6:19, 10:19, apologies. So 79, so they're staying around that 79, 80 second mark there for the lap, which is slightly slower than 78 seconds of 16:15, but they do have a few seconds up their belts there.
And Alex Patterson's taken over the lead now. But Charlotte's stuck right on her, so she's probably pretty happy not to be doing the lead. And hopefully she can get a bit of ride over the next few laps, as Gemma's just dropping a little bit back off.
They're trying to close that gap. And as the lead runners are moving in to go past the first runner to the lap, which is around 100. And Patterson is now really pushing the pace along. Only Wilson can go with her. And dropping back to Gemma Mahaney.
Yeah, and I know Alex has been doing a fair bit of training with Melissa Duncan over the winter, sort of last few months, and she says she's very strong over the threshold and long stuff, so this is probably one of her favourite events, to be out here and just hit a pace and keep going.
So Patterson is really pushing this race along.
So they go through 3,600 in 11:39 there, so another 120 lap. Still have a few seconds on that 16:15 here, but do you expect them to try and pick up the pace now?
The way that Alex is starting to move away looks like she's trying to inject a bit of pace, and it's just starting to stretch Charlotte a little bit. She might be starting to feel that steeple from Tuesday night, but hopefully she can stay as close as she can.
Patterson does look strong as well.
And this second group's really starting to string out now, so they're obviously starting to feel the pinch of the pace.
So Gemma Main has fallen right back here, so it's going to come right down to Patterson up here at the front. Charlotte Wilson about 10 metres behind. And then the second group is catching up. About 30 metres behind Amelia Mazzoudani is behind that front group as we get a clock on about 12:58 through 4K there. So we've got 1K to go. Oh, another 1:19 lap. Amelia Mazzoudani is well on pace to get that 16:40 World Junior qualifier.
Yeah, and she's looking like she's getting closer to Charlotte, so that's definitely going to help her over these last few laps, is having that person to chase just in front of her.
And it doesn't look like Charlotte has actually slowed down. I think we have to give credit to Patterson here for picking up the pace. Charlotte is still moving along here, so they are hitting the 119s, the 120s, and Amelia is catching up to them. So about 13:42 for Amelia there with 2 laps to go. So as we do see, we will look at Amelia Mazzoudani here. Virginia Maloney is going past her, so we'll see if Amelia can try and jump on there and try and hang on as long as possible. It's hard, but only 700 metres to go, so we'll see how much of a ride she can take off Virginia there. As we turn our attention back to Patterson up the front, 14:16. So still well under that 16:15 pace there, and we've gone back to 78-second laps, so they are still going. They are increasing the pace there, so she's still feeling good.
So they're coming up and they're going to get that wonderful sound of the bell. So Patterson's got just a very short run down this straight to get the bell. Wilson's still holding second place. Great battle between Maloney and Mazzoudani. So here's the bell for Patterson. 1 to go. Wilson. Maloney in third place. Mazzoudani Downey and Ashley.
So we're coming down to about 350 metres to go. Patterson is striding out even more now. Charlotte Wilson is going with her as well, so she's probably got a little bit too much there. Patterson does look still quite strong, so Charlotte's going to have to work hard to try and get back on if she can in second position as they do come up to.
Yeah, they both look like they're moving at very similar paces, but that gap might be too much now. I think Amelia went through with about 1:40 to be under that 16:40, so that looks pretty good and pretty achievable for her from here.
Alex Patterson, under 200 to go now.
So another 1:19 lap there for Patterson. As we do come into about 150 metres to go. She is striding right out here. Charlotte Wilson isn't going to let her do it easy, though. She's going to have to work all the way to the finish line.
Those sprinters move off the track, please. And coming down the straight now, Patterson.
So she does come down the straight. Charlotte Wilson is coming here. We'll see how we go. Patterson's going to go all the way through the line. Charlotte Wilson is digging deep, though. Patterson looks to probably get it. 16:10:40 unofficial time. A great run there. Let's get a clock, if we can, on Amelia.
That's 16:20 for Amelia, so well under that qualifying. And I think that's a PB as well by about 7 seconds, according to our information. So pretty solid day for her.
A great run there by all the girls up the front. And Amelia, we do have to take note that she did lead that second group as well for a lot of the way. So she was doing a lot of the work.
So coming through now, Gemma Maney finishing next. Cassie Deagle will hit the bell lap. Brianna Bunworth, she will also have a lap to go. So here comes the rest of the runners there. Good battle as they come towards the line. It's going to be a late run there by Brown from Humphreys coming through next place with Sophie Ryan. Followed in by Olivia Hobbs, Thriller Wishaw, Nadine Bainbridge.
And we're going to turn our attention down to the end of that 5 kilometres there. Lyndon, who have you got?
I'm down here with our 5K winner, Alex Patterson, who had a pretty cruisy run those first few laps and sat in behind Charlotte and then made a really big move and gapped her and just held on for the win, which was great. But you were smashing some really even laps throughout. Did you go in with a plan?
My plan was kind of like to get through 3K as comfortably as possible and then work the 4th K and try and finish strong. So I tried to do that as best I could, yeah.
Yeah, watching the clock, it was pretty even going through.
Yeah.
And in terms of a PB, that was under, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think like a 30 or 40 second PB. I haven't run on the track for a long while, so I was a bit nervous to come back, but it worked out well, so I'm happy.
Congrats, it's absolutely huge. And what's on next for your season?
I'm going to Falls Creek, and then I'm not sure what my next race is, but I'll figure that out soon.
Sounds good. Well,
Yeah.
Good luck with the rest of your season. Off to a cracking start.
Thank you so much.